Every Friday after school, my dad takes me to Chipotle. He gets a burrito, but I just get a bowl with extra salsa.
There we are. Oh no, not the display. Not the display. There we go. Yeah!
Yes! Is it working?
It is working. Oh,
All
it's
right.
working! Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Spark. I am C2. This is Jess Debacco. This is Jess Debacco. We are here on the Trident Network. Networked. I always say networked, and it did, and it will continue to. The Trident Network, which is a three-pronged digital entertainment network. We do YouTube videos, we do Twitch live streaming, and we do podcasts. Please follow and subscribe to us here on Twitch and everywhere that you can. If you like any of that stuff, it helps us keep Trident Network going, and it helps us pay our creators, which we are endeavoring to do. That's the main endeavor for the Trident Network. But we are here today to talk about stuff. Everything and stuff that lights us up here on The Spark. I decided, because it is the time of the year, that we should probably talk about fucking New Year's resolutions, because we have opinions on that. Yeah, and then it's the Lunar New Year. Hello, Paint! Hello, Verdscape! Hello, Hands Bands! Hello, Mimi!
Mimi DB!
Mimi DB! Everyone's here. Everyone's here. We can start. Amazing. But yes, I wanted to talk about New Year's resolutions. Neither of us do them. I was like, I texted her as soon as I had the thought. I was like, I think we should talk about New Year's resolutions. I don't do them, but I think we should. And she was like, yeah, I don't do them either. But I think more so because there's a lot of things flying around in like online about stuff around this time of year. Like there's a lot of like, this year is gonna be my year, which is, you know, every year's your year, baby. But there's a lot of like, you should change. You should be better than you were. Fuck you last year. Like there's a lot of like charged intentions, and intentions are so good, and like wanting to achieve your goals is so good, and like writing lists, like these are all great things. But I think there's an energy of like, you were fucking terrible last year, I hope you're better this year. And like that's like not it. That's not it. And that's definitely how I felt lately, is like, actually, you know what, I'm gonna love my whole being so much more, and you know what, I'm not gonna get better at all. If anything, I'm gonna stay the same. What's up, Smokey? Yes, that's the energy around that, is like, I'm fine, leave me alone. Get off me.
Yeah. I'm looking to revert to more of my 8-year-old self.
Yeah, there you go. I'm actually trying to recall different versions of me. Is it the deer?
Right,
what happened?
I have snow, icicles, and I heard a collapse. There was
probably
icicles down.
It's been snowing.
Yeah. First off, I like, it's so funny because on one hand, I'm all about people making goals. I just get really sad, and I used to be like this, where I'd be like, this year I'm going on a diet, you know, and that was it. Like that was the depth of the goal. You know,
yeah.
If I'm thin, then I'll be happy. If I'm thin, then I'll be
no, it hurt me so bad. No, that's yes.
I know.
Yeah, no. And it's
everybody, or like even the post, like give this 1 million likes and help keep me accountable, and I'm just like, but it's okay if you don't succeed. Like anyway, failure, you're still like alive and worthy to be so, you know, and
like you can succeed, whatever succeeding is to you, while you are this way. And there's this really, and this has been my issue, is it's like there's this program that keeps wanting to be like, it takes all the things that I learn and then is like, and then we'll change into something better. Like, it's like, it keeps wanting to be like, but then later when you're better, like it wants me to like not accept and love and be the person that I am right now. It's like, well, later when you're better and not embarrassing, or like whatever the fuck
Yeah.
And
or
it's like,
qualified.
no, yeah, yes, yeah, yeah.
I know, and
it's a
I've been having
piece
a
of
lot
shit.
of like imposter syndrome feelings coming up of just like, especially because I started entering some circles where I'm listening to people talking who are just so educated and so they have sources for everything they're saying. Whereas I'm like, I saw a TikTok and I feel like it makes me think like, and I'm just like, what like and to recognize that like there's harmful information that can be spread, and it's like I don't know, it's just I've got this thing of like I had a friend who called it moral perfectionism, OCD, and I was like, I don't know what that is. That's what I have. I've never heard of that, but that's what I have.
This idea that like you have to be good, you have to
Yes.
be pure, it must be pure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
And I feel like I know we talked about it last time or one of the previous shows where, I have grown inarguably from my initial like perspective shift awakening life-changing moment exponentially. Like what I know now
Yeah.
and how I'm grounded in this new way of thinking is very different than this moment. But I was clearly enough in this moment.
Yeah.
And I wasn't perfect, and I
Yes.
didn't know the right sayings, and I didn't know this, and I still felt that bliss. I still felt that love. And why am I like beating myself up, being like, I'm not enough, I haven't learned enough, I'm not practicing enough, I haven't da 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 da. So it's not superficial, like my goal setting used to be. Now it's like, oh, you're not an expert in Upanishads, or
Yeah,
like,
oh my god, I fucking love the Upanishads. No, dude.
I know you do. I've never even fucking read it. I just know the word.
And well, that's the thing though, like, yeah, like that specific thing that says you're not enough, that's the issue. It's not whatever I need to do, like that thing that whatever that is, that fucking code that runs and is like, whatever you're doing isn't enough, is like, no, absolutely not. And that has been my, like, what I am so committed to uninstalling from, because it's not helping anybody. Because there's a difference between, like, and even then, like, the people who really need that code to run destroy shit. So really, it's not my fucking, like, that's not my fucking business. Like, whatever that is. Like, other people, like, because, like, you always, and then you hear this thing, like, other people will say, like, I'll, like, don't care about what other people think about you, is like, it's like, don't care less about what other people think about you, which is fine. But also, like, and then people will say, well, no, you should care about what people think of you because some people are bad. And I'm like, bad people, their brains are fucked. So it doesn't matter what, like, me, like, and then you get into, like, bad and good and who's good and who's bad. But it's like, okay, doesn't everybody think they're doing a good, like, don't a lot of people think that they're actually doing something, like, that's not bad, even if, so it doesn't, like, your perspective and another person's perspective on what's good, and, like, not saying that there aren't, but, like, if I keep moral fucking, what was it, moral OCD,
moral perfectionism, OCD.
so you're, like, here in your house being like, oh, everything I do is bad. It's like, okay, well, I don't think this is good either.
Right.
Like, there's gotta be, like, a move away from that, like, putting everything into the box and the baskets of what is good and what is bad and what am I allowed to do and what am I not allowed to do.
Well, and it's so funny because, I'm really getting into a lot of, like, non-dualistic lines of thought and education, and it's making the most sense to me, which is like, there is no good, there is no bad, there is just what is. And what I'm realizing too, and it happened this summer, is, I was talking to cousin who I just freaking love. He's so smart and so cool. But, like, you could look at him and be like, here's all the problematic areas that you occupy. And there's no moment. It just made it click. I'm doing a bad job explaining this, y'all. I've got period brain. Let's be real.
You're great. Give it up for period brain. We love it.
fucking bleeding out.
No.
Okay?
We're
and
just
still alive.
We're chatting. We're gabbing. All right?
Yeah, so this is gonna be
We're
buckle
gabbing.
up and
I'm buckled.
but ultimately what I realized is there is no person that I've even met who I've been like, dude, you're bad. Like, and I've had a couple where I'm like, fuck this
And then you
person.
said that, and I was like, oh, no, leave them alone. Like, even if, like...
Totally. Well, and that's also a long time ago, but I have had those moments. But if you look at them, they don't think they're bad. They have their own moral code and their own like justification process that they're like, no, I'm just in it for the money and I'm making the most amount of money, so I'm scamming people. And it's like, and I don't see it as scamming people. I see it as me hustling at my job and working
within a system that is essentially corrupt. So like, what are you doing? Oh, you're buying phones that are made by slaves in other countries. That's good.
Right.
When you get into like, if you really want to put things into baskets, you'll be busy putting things into baskets forever and never do anything.
Exactly. And there's really no end to that qualification. Like, I don't think that I'm resisting saying this because I don't want to act like I'm backing up Hitler. I'm not, but I'm just saying I don't think he thought he was a bad guy. I think he thought he was doing a world of good on his moral line.
I had a really good exchange with my best friend roommate Kelsey.
Yes.
And we were like, it like when you really zoom out, so you zoom out like all the way, right? Like, and wars happen and people die and people are bad and people kill each other and people love each other and babies are born, all the stuff. Hitler, like when he wrote about like him wanting to do the Holocaust, he writes like he was ordained by God to do the Holocaust. Right. And then there's like, when you think about like, okay, war in our history, wars happen and like it's terrible and war is hell, and there are like tons of like technological advances that happen. We got the New Deal because of World War II. We changed our whole country. Like there are things
with the workforce.
Yeah, so
it's ultimate.
It's just messy all over the place. It's just messy, and it's not perfect. And some people play Hitler, and some people play other people, and that's who they play.
And I think that like what it all comes down to is it is a waste of time to spend any energy deciding what is a good or bad thing. If you have a belief system that we're all one and everything is happening for us and whatever, like, which you may not, but like at least that's your and my opinion.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then okay, so you believe you're child of God, the universe, source, and I believe I am too. So who's not? You know, and it's like it's just not worth any time comparing. Really, like it's
because what are you gonna do? It always comes back to, okay, well, what are you gonna do? What role are you playing? What do you want to do?
Right.
What are we gonna? What am I gonna do? My little guy. What am I?
Yeah.
What is my little guy gonna do? Who am I gonna be?
And with that, like, why are we putting such a harsh value assessment on like, have I done good or have I done bad? It's like, just keep going, and what feels good within your system, what feels off within your system, and try when you do something that feels off. And this is where I have a really difficult time. When I do, I just am like so hard on myself.
Yes, yeah.
It's so unfair.
Jess, leave me alone. Like, you're like, God.
To talk to any other person the way that I talk to myself, which is just like, you've done it again, you're wasted. It's like,
you've done it again.
Like, you just got to feel this feeling of out of alignment so that you can know to be brave and say the truth instead of whatever this was that like, that caused this anxiety. You did it because you didn't have the courage or the ability in that moment to like say what was really on what you were feeling. Like, ooh, I just said that made me feel really off. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Even in the moment, just like calling it out. it's just all giving you more and more courage to try a different path, I think.
Yeah. And it does take, oh God, courage. Courage! It does take courage to, like, be yourself, like, in every moment and oh, it's so hard. Haven't perfected it yet.
Well, and yeah, and like to come back to the like self-acceptance. Like,
yes.
that, I think that it is just, it's so hard to feel enough as you are, especially when in our society, things that you can never change are told that they're bad. Like women,
We
and
live in a
us,
punitive society that punishes you for certain things.
like it is inevitable that we're going to age and get wrinkles. And instead of going, oh, I am going to take this money and I'm going to go on vacation and be like with my family, either you take that money and put plastic in your face, or you go on that vacation and you wear shawls all over the place because you don't want anyone to see your body because it's wrinkled, and by what you believe through what society has told you,
Jess!
you are grotesque.
You're
You
making
know?
me sad. Yeah, because of
That's
that.
what we're combating.
Because that
you know?
tyrant, and it's you. That's the other fucking upsetting thing, is that it's you. It is you. And like taking responsibility for being like, I literally have to like change this because I am the tyrant in my own mind, and not in a way where it's like, we all got traumatized. Being alive is traumatic. Being alive on Earth is traumatic. People die. Shit goes wrong. There are wars. There is oppression. Like, yes, everybody.
We're enslaved. All of us.
Yeah, like, we're like, it sucks. Like, there's stuff that sucks here, and it's traumatic. And even if you have, like, a good life and a good family, there's still going to be stuff that happens. But if you have a tyrant in your head, it's fucking you, baby. Like, it's like you. And being like, you even have to, like, love that tyrant. Like, you have to, like, be like, it's okay that sometimes you're an asshole. I love you anyway. It's okay, like,
how you got there. It's not your fault. You've been told that by every fucking piece of media and something trying to get us to consume a new product in a capitalistic society, down to like dyeing our hair. Yes, we can do that as a form of self-expression, but others are doing it to hide the inevitable process of graying or balding or whatever that is inevitable. Now you're unworthy of love, or you're a man, you're not tall enough, or you have a small dick. That is like everybody's joke.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, that defines
it's
you?
very mean. It's very mean.
And it is absolutely not funny anymore. Like, it's like, it's arguable that it never was, but it's like, it's just, in my mind now, can't stop thinking on, like, if that was on a woman's body, like, we've had that, you know, but like, we're really overcoming some, and it's like, but still, even in like feminist communities, people are like, ew,
well,
that's
they're like,
small.
well, they say it to, and there's the thing where it's like, they say it to us, so like it's not the same when we say it to them, or like they like, and we could get in, and I don't even want to open that up, because then you can be like, well, and this doesn't count because this person and that, but like anything that is gonna split you in half from other people, guess what? That's not it. If it's bringing you in together with other people and like with love and connection, which is what we require and need for humanity to sustain itself, that's it. If it's gonna split you off from other people who otherwise you would be in community with, that's not it. And we get like these, like, there's so many of these, like, aren't you mad about this thing? And aren't these people are all, now we're fighting. I'm like, how do we have another? We got another thing?
And that is so true and such a thing. But if we're just looking at self-acceptance, there's always these systems of like dividing us against
No,
each
yeah.
other.
That's their
Do
only
you
job.
know how hard it is to accept yourself? It's even harder than it is to accept others.
Yes.
It's even harder to love yourself in its entirety
That's true.
than it is to love other people. And why? It's not your fault. It is fixable, and that's your responsibility. But you didn't create the narratives that, like, if your nose is too big, you need to have a fucking nose job, or
Yeah.
else you're a joke, you know, or you like whatever the fuck commentary that we have. It's just subtle but constant. Everyone may, you know, it's like that's what you are going up against. And I just want to share, like, I remember Mimi, I was on the phone with her in my ascent into madness. I It was right before, and I just had this moment where I could have just wept, but I just fell so madly in love with myself in one moment, looking in the mirror. And I was on the phone with my sister, and it started out, just a real quick precursor was this woman who wrote what was the show with A.D. Bryant on Hulu that was like about
yeah. Oh.
it's not very great written, but like I can't remember, but
I'm gonna look it up.
Shrill.
It was Shrill. Yeah, I was like,
And
no,
the
yeah, it
writer
was
of
really good.
that- The writer of that was on a podcast for This American Life. And she said that she finally came out as fat because she's like, I'm a diet expert. I've tried every diet in the world and I'm still fat. And what if I die tomorrow? Is my whole life a failure? Like, am I not allowed to like go to the beach or wear shorts when it's hot? Like, do I have to hide my body in a tent because I'm fucking fat? And I just, that was kind of a catalyst moment. And then I get to this mirror with a body I've always hated. My boobs have never been perky. My arms have always been saggy. Like, I've never had this like banging bod at any point in my life. Just looked in the mirror, and instead of being like, thank you for letting me walk, thank you for like letting me move, I was like, thank you for letting me be lazy when I was depressed during COVID. Like, you let me lay in bed for like 2 weeks and just order Grubhub and watch shit television. And I grabbed like my arms. I was like, thank you for letting me experience culture through food and showing me evidence of that on my body. That's the life I live. Like, thank you, boobs that I have always been hard on, from keeping me from hooking up with some real wastes of time. You know, like, you've made my selection of who to be with way more precious than it would have been had I loved my body, you know? And like, I just thanked every bit of it. And that was this like unfucking believable self-acceptance that then just split the world wide open into like, when you love yourself so unconditionally, you can't help but love everyone else because you are everyone else.
And you're overflowing.
You can't get there until you love here.
And I know it's so funny because I hear these things, like we hear this, and it's like, when you can really embrace yourself, then you can really embrace other people. And it's like a very simple saying. And then there's always this like oversimplification of that. And then it's like, are you saying that people who don't love themselves aren't worthy of love? No, that's not what I'm saying.
It does invite
you don't until you do. You don't know, because I don't love myself, and then you do. If you don't take care of the person who is you, because you don't know, then you're gonna get into shit that someone who doesn't love themselves would do, and it's not your fault.
Yeah,
but like, if you can get in there
and really see, like, which takes a lot of labor, and we don't have time. Like, we're so busy, and the few moments that we have free, we just want to scroll on our phones or watch something on TV for a second and have some relief, or hang out with a friend. But looking inward is a task, and like, I've just been able to do it because I've been living with my dad and taking, like, there's certain sacrifices, but it's like, I've had the space. So it's like, I just want to put so much compassion into the space for ourselves when we're like, oh, why don't I love my?
Yeah, it's okay that you don't. It's okay. And the idea, I just really, really, really like the idea and the feeling of like, it's fine, whatever is happening. Like, whoever I am right now is fine. Because the way time works, whoever you are right now is everyone you've ever been and everyone you ever will be. So time isn't linear. So you are all versions of you, all fuck up versions of you, all best versions of you. You are everything that you have ever been and ever will be right now, all the time. So even if right now you feel like I could be better, like who cares? Like you are and you aren't always at the same time. So you might as well just like get real comfy in there.
Yeah, and that I genuinely believe is the revolution. Like, and I'm not being sarcastic and I'm not being hyperbolic.
You're right.
Because what came as a consequence of like my radical self-acceptance was this like impenetrable love all around me. Because I wasn't in a prison where I'm like, ew, you're gonna be free in a way that I'm not. And that pisses me off, and that's poison in my system. I didn't have any of that. Yeah. And then I was defiant. I was like, you can't fuck with me, man. I am free as I love
myself. I love myself.
And it's like there's no language to articulate like how serious I mean that, you know? And it's like, but it's like I do think that if you look at every system, yes, there's so many systems to divide us, and that is on purpose. There's so many systems and whatever, but I think most cruelly and most importantly is systems to keep us from loving and accepting ourselves and being okay in the truth. Like, hey, I did this fucked up thing and I'm still worthy of love. I have regret about it and I don't want you to think less of me, you know, but like I'm not free to say it because I'm so afraid of judgment and I'm so afraid of whatever. And it's just like that level of freedom. I was ready to confess every fucking I was just like, here's another thing.
Here's another thing I did.
Now I've been out of that because I'm now going, I'm still, even though I kissed it and it was so sweet.
Dude, same.
I still have only had little bitty glimpses since then. And then the rest has been like a self-inflicted punishing chamber of like, you're not meditating enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if you can get it, oh God, it's chef's kiss, Italian finger. Verdsky says, have you heard RuPaul talk about how much he worries about his smart girls because their self-saboteurs are as smart as they are, so they're literally harder to conquer. I think anybody's self-saboteurs are just as good as you. It is your greatest opponent. It's your brain. It's you. Like, who is the match for you? You are your greatest.
This is Agent Smith.
And they're the same. It's you. And then that's the other thing. That's why, like, it's always like you are the answer to your prayers and you are also your worst enemy.
Cause of your issues.
Nobody's coming to save you. It's you.
Yeah, because that's the thing is, yes, all of these things in society have told us that you are worth less if you do not fit in, if you're not quiet, well-mannered, don't speak up, fucking look this way, don't have wrinkles, aren't fat, whatever, like all of the things that like you are bad. But it is your choice to believe that. Is that true?
And you can find those fucking, and they run.
Yeah.
Every chance, like, and some days, and like you're saying, like, you know, I'm on my period, and like I know, like, when I'm getting on my period, those programs are like, here we go. This is the day we're gonna fucking ruin her life. Like this week, we're gonna ruin it. Like it's literally like, because they're old programs that you get from everywhere, from when you're from the ages of 0 to 7, you are just being programmed. So anything around you got programmed, and then the next however many years until you realize you can program yourself, all of those programs that you got programmed are being enforced because they were programmed. So until you can recognize them, uninstall them, and install new programs, it's going to be the same ones.
Yeah.
But it's you. It's your shit. It's all because if it's just you in there fighting with yourself.
And it is. It's you deciding to hear that and believe it. And I think it's no accident that if you look around at the people who are kind of leading the like the charge in terms of like self-love, healing, spiritual, whatever, there are people in the margins and they're neurodivergents. And I think that the
Yeah.
reason that they are so prevalent in this community is because we, through our existence, have never fit in the box, completely. So like it's so much harder for someone who's been rewarded their whole life, like a well-behaved, well-educated, cis white man who's a lawyer is going to have a much more difficult time becoming free in spirit and dance and wear nail polish and like make a fool of themselves.
Well, and that's
because
the other
their
thing.
whole life they've been good boy, good boy, good boy, and they go, yes, I'm a good boy, and then to go against that and lose that safety net. We've never really had that safety net. We've always been the ones in trouble. We've always been the ones who are like, what we can't help but do or what we're getting criticized for. And so we're coming to it quicker that it's like, hey, you know what? I can't help this and I don't think it's bad. Whereas other people who they're like, why would I fuck up this system? I've been rewarded, and I'm scared to. I've heard the shit they talk about other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and and they say, you change your inner reality and then your 3D reality will mirror that. But that creates cognitive dissonance. So when you're changing the inside of you and you're saying, I love myself regardless of who loves me, I love myself, you're doing this reprogramming. Your outside still matches the old programming. So then you're going to have to keep running it regardless of what's happening on the outside. While if the system is in favor of the people who were successfully programmed by it, so they they're cis, white, whatever, put it on, they're doing great in the system. Everything on the outside is telling them that what they're doing is right. So why would they not want to do anything else? And why would they think, but I do still think there are people who that is their truth.
Yeah.
Sure. And there's people who that is their truth. That is their reality.
But like, okay, yes, it is their reality, but it's not the truth.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean? And so that's where I'm like, that's still a prison. Even in their truth, and even if they think like, I'm happy and whatever, it's like, it's still not that bliss, that euphoria, that love. There's still a great, and I don't know, I'm casting stones. I don't happen to know this. I'm
casting stones!
But I do have to, it's a way for me to have empathy towards a group that was formerly very easy to hate, and very easy to be angry, direct my anger at and blame at. And now I get to go, oh my God, you have actually a much harder time of like, could you just like get up and be a goofball and like dance?
Could you just
and,
get
like,
up and be a goofball?
And like show some of your femininity or whatever? Probably not as free as someone who's been like externally like identifiable as gay since their youth, like.
Well, and there's that like saying that like I wouldn't want anybody else's problems.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want to do anybody else's problems. I'll just do mine. Like,
yeah,
there's like if we're all fighting the same guy and it's us, I'd rather fight me. I'd rather go toe to toe with me, I guess. Pretty much.
And we are ferocious opponents for ourselves.
Every day, dude.
Well, and also like, so we were talking about resolutions, and I would say though, and I wonder if you'd say the same. I'm sure you do. I almost like kind of do in lieu of resolutions. I manifest on new moons and I release on full.
There you go.
And so it's kind of like that. It's just that now I now it's regular, so I don't need like a new year to do these things.
Yeah.
Two, I was looking at that a few TikTokers that we were talking about that are like, man, this is not the actual how it was meant to be calendar. Like 2 months were added, and the new year is actually supposed to take place in the spring along
in
with
March,
the planet. March. And so if you actually look at the planet and work with it in tandem with it, it's time to sleep. It's time to rest.
sleep.
Take it easy on yourself. Just recoup.
That's why you're so tired, because it's time to sleep.
It's time to sleep.
It's time to sleep.
Spring, you're energized, you're hopeful. Everything is manifesting along with you. The energy's with you, and yeah.
I do think that what you had said, because it's so funny you brought that up, because we're on the same channel. You were like, yeah, it's like self-acceptance. Like that is like the code. That is the homework. That is the work. It's like self-acceptance. Yeah. Where is it? It's self-acceptance. Because imagine I imagine you're fighting, right? You have this idea that you're fighting with the you that's in your head. You're fighting, you don't like it, whatever's happening. But if you can accept it fully, you kind of absorb, you almost become, you make space for all of you, even the part of you that's yelling at you. You're like, here we are. And you become, you expand. If you can hold it all. But that probably just takes exercise. It's just
so
work.
Cool. What was because I think that we talk a lot about self-acceptance and stuff, and we know what that means. But what were moments where you did it? What were the moments and what were the steps that kind of led to it?
I think, well, and then because we absorb a lot of information from all the channels that we watch, and all the tarot readers and the spiritual guides, and me and you and probably other people too are all getting all this information, and I hear about radical self-acceptance. I heard about radical self-acceptance years ago, heard about it, read about it. I understand. But recently I'm trying to think of the specific time. I don't know what I was thinking about. I think I was I had this thought. I always get these little Zen sayings that come to me that are funny. And it was when you become a person who is worthy of love, you will understand that you have always been a person who is worthy of love, which is a paradox. Because once you become this, you were oh shit, always, forever, before and after, always worthy of love. Even now, even at this, even when I did this, and I was going through even when I did this really embarrassing thing, yeah, I love you. Anyway, I love you. Yeah, I love you. You could do anything. And I was naming, I was going through my head naming all the terrible, embarrassing, stupid, and I was just going through all those things, and I had that thought of oh, well, when you're that person, you will become worthy of love. You have always been worthy of love. And I went back through all the things that I always bring up. You bring the things up, remember that thing that you hated that you did it? And yeah, you were worthy of love then too. And it just it was kind of this balm of because you go back there as an opportunity to love that. The reason you go back there, we don't go back there to replay our most embarrassing moments so that we can suffer. We go back there because it's an opportunity for us to love ourselves wherever we are. So if you are practicing, or I love you when you did that, I love you if you made a mistake, I love you, literally regardless, there is nothing you could do. There's nothing you could do. There is nothing you could say. There's no terrible thought you could think that I wouldn't love you through. And then anytime that happens, you do it. You love yourself through it. And it's hard, but I don't want to say it just happened, because it's from meditating and being able to be, because there also is the ability to be in that moment, because you have to be there even though you feel shitty about it. You have to be in that moment either while it's happening or when you're going back there and be I love myself anyway. I get it. I understand. It's okay. I'm not mad at you. You didn't do anything wrong. But I had that thought, and then my mind was like, all right. And like literally right after I had that thought of like, once you become somebody that is worthy of love, you will realize that you've always been somebody worthy of love. Then my brain was like, cool, let's test it out. And I was like, what? And then it was like, okay, let's remember a bunch of shit you don't like about yourself and things that you have said and done and see if that's true. Because that's what, then every time you learn a lesson, the fucking universe is going to be like, cool, test it out. Oh, you learned that lesson? Cool, awesome, drop you in.
Yeah. I know, and I love that you said too. It's never one thing. It's an accrual of hearing the lessons repeat until they're learned.
The lesson repeats as needed.
That's true. Because even this morning, I happened to see I deleted my apps for like a week.
I love that.
And then I reinstalled it to promote the show, and I've already just been like scrolling.
Can't wait till I'm deleting them again. Yeah.
Exactly. But I saw Maya Angelou. She was talking about reading a fucking poem.
A poem?
Line. I don't know.
Poems and music, you know.
A line, a stanza.
You get it.
I don't know. There's proper words. And she was talking about reading. It says she just said, "God loves me," and the guy she was with, which she didn't reference in the video, he said, "Read it again." She said, "God loves me," and he's like, "Read it again," and made her do it like 100 times until she like fell to the ground like crying and just was like, "God loves me," you know. And it's like, and she's like, the same thing that made the flowers and the fleas and you and whatever loves me. And I just like what I crave for everyone and for myself again, but just, oh God, I crave it for everyone, just to be like, to feel that love and the truth of that, because it is just, once you feel it, you know you've never felt anything more true in your life. And just to drink on that for a second, oh God, you know. And I remember I was with Mimi. We love Mimi.
Mimi.
She's a hostage to these thoughts of mine all the time. She's like, I don't know, I gotta go to work, you know?
I don't know,
I
gotta go to work. I gotta go to work.
I'm like, but what about, you know? And she's like, sure, in like some reality that is not this right now, you know? And so I was we had this most blessed experience where she was supposed to come up for Christmas, and it was last year, not this most current, but the one before. And she lives in San Jose. I live in Nevada, and there's a mountain range that divides us that was about to be snowed in. And because of COVID and everything, would have been her second or third year being alone on Christmas.
Yeah.
And so I took off to beat the storm, and like was like, everyone buddy up, but I'll be with Mimi. And we had the best time. We got snowed in for like 3 weeks.
Oh my God.
No time together. We ended up having like 3 beautiful weeks. And I don't know if this will work because I really have only had, it's very hard to explain, but I just feel like I want to try it with us, which is, I had this moment where she and I were eating dinner, and I can't even remember what we were talking about, but we were in hysterics. We were just like in belly laughs and having a great time. And I had this almost like out of body flash of our grandma and her sister, Aunt Barb, who neither of us really knew in life because they, one died young and the other lived far away.
Yeah.
And I just started like almost crying. I felt that love. I had felt that love for myself before, but I felt like what I could imagine would be God's love for everything and everyone, or the universes, or whatever. I don't like this to use a good word, but and what it caused was, if everyone genuinely, and you yourself, and we'll see if this will work. It may not, and so no pressure, but try to, if you're in a position where you can, like, breathe into yourself and think of a relative that you love, but you never really got to know, but you just love them because of the stories you've heard, and you wish you got to know them a little more.
I've had this same thing happen. I told you about this. Did I tell you about
did we already
this?
talk about this?
No, but like I've had this same moment happen where something was happening and I was laughing, and then I learned about an aunt that I had, a great aunt or a great great aunt, whose name was Valeria, who's like my Polish great great aunt, and I was like laughing or like having a good time, and my mom had told me about her and how her and her husband, and he had a funny name too, were like jokesters and they had a great time. And I was like laughing about something, or I was doing something, and then I could feel like I could feel being there with them. Like it was like in joy, like in the kitchen, like just like that's my family and like I'm connected to them, and like people like being connected to the people in the family who are like the harbingers of joy, who are like responsible for the joy of the family, and who like have access to it, and their job in the family is to give access to access it for themselves, and then also let everybody else access it. And like I just was like goosh, and it was like, and it's like, and you know, you have this fucking crazy time travel experiences where you're just like and you get like pulled, and I was like there in the like laughter and the joking and the moment, and then I was like, oh god, and then like I was just like, oh, and I like came back and I was like, oh my god, like that's me, like that's like from, that's like I'm like like it's, I carry that like from all the way from there. I also carry that, and I also am there, and I'm also there with you. And then like it's like every time you access that, every time that you like access that like universal love, like that's you doing your job to bring that through for all time, for all of your ancestors, for everybody.
I don't remember you telling me that. I love that though.
And I learned about her. Her name's Valeria. It's the coolest name in the world. I was like, you're fucking cool.
We have a relative named Philomena, and I think that's pretty rad.
That is cool. That's a good name.
Well, and it's funny because like with what happened with me, it's very similar. Where like I was just imagined, except just a tiny bit different. Which this is what I invite anyone to meditate on, including yourself, anybody, and see if you like it, see if it does anything for you. But instead of, you picture a relative that you don't know, but you know you love, and you picture them in your mind, and you get to bird's eye view from an older you perspective. Like you're detached even from your current moment. You're
third
just kind of
person,
looking down bird's eye, and you watch this person that you've never met, and if they make every single word you've ever, if you got to watch them, and it just so happened that every single word that they said, you've said, and if every single fuck up that they've done, it has been what you fucked up on, and you saw them be as hard on themselves as you've been on yourself, like how much would you be in love with that person? How proud of that person would you be? Like how proud of like their effort and how they're thinking about it, and just like how honored you would be to feel so unalone by having someone in your family like that. And it's like apply that love to yourself, and then in turn everyone. And it was just like, it was like magic. And I still haven't been able to articulate it in a way that's like, oh, have this moment too. Like, 'cause it feels like it's close, but it's like, it was just like, what a gift,
The way that I always think about it is like, so like we're a part of one singular consciousness, and we're only very briefly, we are both removed barely, and also we can't even perceive the consciousness that we're a part of. But it's like in a video game where you're in first person and you can see the hands and you're doing the thing and I'm doing the thing, and then all you have to do is zoom out once and see the whole person doing the thing, and the way that you feel. And then like, or if you're doing like a management sim game and you zoom all the way out, you love those little guys. Those are your guys. These are all my guys. I gotta take care of my guys.
Them because one of them's crabby.
These
or
are
a
my,
jerk.
yeah, like, and you zoom in on them and they're doing their laundry and they're doing the thing and they're bringing the chicken and they're doing the thing and they're going shopping and they're partying and they're having a good time and they're drinking, they're fighting each other. Oh, look, those guys are getting married. And there's like, how do you feel about your little guys? That's like how the universe feels about us. That's how God feels about us. That's how, that's like, we're like here on purpose. And it's like my little guy. And like sometimes when I'm like, ugh, being alive, I'm okay, go up until you're like, I love you. Like literally go out and be like, I love you. Because that's like, I'm your little guy.
Right.
And I love you. Like, how can I be mad at you? I'm not mad at you. You're a little guy. Like, it's just like, that helps me.
I love it because it's just like, I'm the same way where it's like, I knew about self-acceptance. I knew about self-love. Like, I've been hearing the exercises and saying all the right things and repeating
doing your best.
No is a complete sentence. I don't know. You know, the empowering sentence of the hour. But then to go like that Maya Angelou just like, it's like, no, love yourself. Like, no, I do. Love all of you. Like, okay, because if you did, it's not like, yeah, I love myself. It's like,
yeah, it's like the washing away of all of whatever was ever wrong. Like, what was ever wrong? What was ever wrong before? Like, what was wrong? I don't know.
Right.
What was wrong?
Right.
And even those, I don't know. That's my current. That is my current. Same. Honestly, same, Jess. I love you. I accept you.
Same.
Regardless.
Well, and it's like, okay, how can I believe that? You know, like I'm
probably, I think it's just practice
for other people. No, and we will, and I'm not worried. But it's just like, okay, now I'm saying it, believing it's true for others.
Yeah.
Why aren't I just believing it as much as I'm believing it for others?
No, I bet we're closer than we think we are. I reckon.
Yeah. I reckon you're right.
I reckon we're closer than we think we even ever were.
Yeah.
But that's an ultimate code. Whoever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever you've done, whatever you will do, it is enough. You are enough. I accept myself.
I thought you were saying it's like programming.
It is. Well, I think that's the code. As like, that's the. I'm not good enough. Program. I'm not enough. Isn't like, here are all these things that I've done that are good, which are good. That's great. But really, the best code, in opposition to the code that's like, you're not good enough, is like, I am enough, and everything I've ever done is enough, and everything I ever will do is enough, and I accept myself completely in all states because I get to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the job. That's the work.
I agree. That's the work. It's the revolution. It's all that matters for us all and for individually.
I agree.
Yeah.
Good resolution. That's my New Year's resolution. Self-acceptance. Here we go. Self-acceptance.
Yeah. And then everything stems from that. It's like, once you have that, it's like you kind of want for nothing else.
Is the Zen paradox saying like, you already have it?
Yeah, right.
You already have it. What if you already had it though?
Yeah, and now it's gone.
No, it's gone.
No, it's not.
Chop wood, gather water. I have to go to the bathroom, and then we're gonna do pep talks.
That sounds great.
We're gonna do pep talks for each other,
or pep talks for whoever wants.
Or if anybody wants a pep talk. I will be right back. Jess, hold it down.
I got you. Guys, there's a dog here. Her name's Bella. She's really cute. She's barking. I think. Hi. I listen. This is a perfect time. This is Bella. Try to log on. Yeah, there you go. Did it work? Sharing the Wi-Fi. My sister and her dog came in. I think it's perfect. I do have period brain. I think that everyone do whichever you want. Let's take a moment just to breathe into ourselves, get into our body, out of our heads, out of our freaking overthinking, and just like look at where you are, see that you're okay. And we'll just be there for a minute together. May have lost some viewers. I don't know.
That was
Or maybe
nice. No, we didn't lose any of you.
quiet.
It doesn't matter if we lost viewers.
I mean, I can't tell, so I don't know, but
that was great.
It's nice.
I can hear you. I can hear that. I can hear that when that happens.
Just like, man, you know what?
Just
Sometimes
chilling.
it's hard to set time aside. Let's just do it. Let's be quiet.
I think yes. I think yes. You know what? Maybe we should just be quiet for a minute. All right. We got pep talks. I don't think anybody wants a pep talk.
Anyone want a pep talk? You just come on in.
You just come on. If you got something you need somebody to say something about.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll do a pep talk. If not,
and there's no time limit, like really, like I mean, unless we end, and then too late. But you come in anytime, and we'll just pump you right up.
We'll pep talk you right up. We do it all the whole day.
And the fun thing about them though is that when we get to pep talk, we don't say anything that we ourselves need to hear. And that can apply, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like take what resonates, leave what don't.
Take what resonates, leave what don't.
I don't know who. If we're alternating, I have no memory of who's gone or what are you feeling? I've got no feeling, Carly.
Did I go first last time? Are you called to say anything? Do you feel like something needs to be said?
All right, let me try. Here we go. I just feel the overwhelming, like, all that keeps coming up is just slow down. And, like, don't worry about checking all the accomplishment boxes in a day. I have an issue sometimes where if I have a checklist, if I do 3 of the 12 things, the day doesn't count because I didn't do all 12. And it's like, even if you do 1, even if you do none, that's okay. Like, again, I really do feel strongly, whether these TikTok videos are accurate or right, it does feel like, yeah, we are. Look at what the planet is doing. Look at what our planet is doing, it's hibernating, it's resting, it's decomposing in a lot of ways. It's like, and so let yourself like just really and try to like in moments where that inevitable guilt comes up of, oh, I did nothing today or nothing, whatever. It's like to love that and to thank yourself for doing nothing, which is such a rare thing. So yeah, slow down. What's the cheesy Tony Robbins quote that always comes to mind?
Yes, Tony Robbins. Cheesy Tony Robbins quote.
We overestimate what we can do in a year, and we underestimate what we can do in a decade. This is though time is short and fleeting and precious. It's a long game, and nothing is for naught. So love yourself for all that you are not doing. Is my pep talk.
I like that one. I like that one. That's nice. That's nice. You're great.
You're great.
You're great. It's really, honestly, it's really, really okay. It is really, it's okay. Hey, it's okay. It's really, truly, you're fine. You're okay. Whatever it is, you're okay here. And you can take any moment to be okay. Even if you're like not okay. That's whatever is happening. It's fine that it's happening. It maybe even you're making it up. Who knows? That's me a lot of the time. A lot of the time I'm like, I'm upset, and there's, oh, I'm making it up. You're okay. It's fine. You're here right now. You'll be somewhere else later. It's gonna be okay. Your only job is to just be doing whatever you're doing whatever is happening. Not doing it bad, you're not doing it good. We're okay. It's gonna be okay.
Yes!
You're gonna be okay.
It really is that
It's fine.
fucking simple. It's like you don't need to overcomplicate anything beyond that. Everything's okay.
You're
even when
cool
it's
where you're at.
Scenario,
It's okay. And if it's bad, that's okay. If it's really good, great. If it's nothing, great, also great. Great. We're just being in it. You're in it, and we are, and that's where we are. We're there.
Doing pretty freaking good. Doing pretty freaking impressive.
You're doing good.
Like, I know that we've always read, like, we can adapt in any situation, but we've gotten to see a lot of proof in that pudding together as a human race in just the last 2 years alone.
Honestly, I think about, like, sometimes it's fun to think about the things that you've gotten through and done at all.
Yeah.
Like, think about the last year. Think about the last hardest thing you did. Or think about the last, like, time you, like, really, like, fucking went for it. The last really cool, great time you, like, there's, like, you really did that. Whatever it was. Damn.
Or like, ending things.
Ending a friendship. Oh.
It's so hard. Cutting a tie with a really, really toxic partner that's complicated, that you love also, but needed to end it. Leaving a job, not knowing what was next, but trusting it could be better.
Starting a new thing. Starting a completely new thing. Changing your mind.
Even though what you started on made sense to everyone else in your external world, and by you changing your mind, everyone's like, uh-oh, what are they doing now? And you can't prove it to anyone. Anyone who's done that, and there's been
Oh,
plenty.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that hit me. That hit me right there.
Or just someone who's decided to get on fucking like antidepressants. Like, oh my God, that takes a lot of courage. It takes so much labor to even start that process.
Yeah.
Like there's so many, and then there's massive scale, things that we've all done as a society, but like, damn, there's some real like shit to be proud of. And then God forbid, we try and have fun every so often.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like we have to earn fun. That's a thing.
God forbid we ever try and have fun.
Uh-huh.
You can have fun. You can do the fun thing. You go fun. Yeah. Would that be nice? Go ahead. You can have a little treat.
Yes.
It's nice to have a little treat. You got a snack?
Yeah. Or just when the music is coming on and you like it.
Oh yeah, you can dance.
You can literally dance. Like, and we don't dance.
We don't dance. Don't make me sing.
We don't dance. We deserve to sing and dance.
You deserve to sing and dance. You don't have to do it good. You can do it regardless.
Just do it.
Are you in the grocery store? Have a dance.
Have a dance. Have a
The
sing.
grocery store has the best playlists.
They really do. And sometimes I sing along. Like the other day, Bryan Adams was playing Broadway. I forgot about Bryan Adams. He's got.
Is that Cable Car? Wait, what is that?
That's so 90s freaking love power.
Yeah,
ballads.
yeah.
He's like, everything I do it for you.
Oh yeah.
And he also does Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron. I've watched it way too much.
He does Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron?
Yeah. He's the here I am, this is me. Yeah, anyway, it's a problem. I really love it. But he was playing in the store. I started singing along just because I was like, I can't keep this in. I feel too much about it. What was the song? It's so dramatic. The 90s are so dramatic. I love it. It was I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I can't stop loving you. Like that's just such a good.
Yeah.
It's such a good. And so I started singing along, and people, and I'm like embarrassed. I'm like, oh God, this is stupid. People are gonna look at me, whatever. And I just did it. And then people did look at me, but they were smiling like it was infectious, And if anyone judges it, then that's for them.
Well,
But
when
either
you're
way,
moved.
you moved. Brian moved.
God
us.
damn it, Brian moves us. Yeah, every time I'm in the grocery store and there's a bop on, I just gotta
Gotta
bop. You gotta bop. You gotta bop when the bops are on.
Bop bigger, like just
Bop
like,
the most.
Bop the most.
We're gonna bop the most. It's okay. Bop the most.
It's okay. Bop the most. That's the takeaway.
I love you. I love you. I think we're good. I feel complete. I feel like we did it.
We did.
We solved all of the problems.
Lunar New Year, happy Year of the Rabbit to anybody.
Is it it's Year of the Rabbit?
Which is you. No.
I'm a horse.
You're a horse. I was a tiger. It was my year last year.
Oh, nice.
Which, whoa. Okay. Whoa, China.
Whoa, China. Okay. Whoa, China.
My year came for me. But no, and beautiful.
There we go. Okay. Well, thank you, Jess. Thank you, as always, for being yourself.
You too. Yes.
I love.
And thank you, anyone who's come and watched.
Yeah,
this,
thanks for coming and hanging out. We're gabbing.
Yes.
Thanks, Verdsky, Sava, Verdsky, Hands Bands, Doomwave, Paint, Smokey. You guys are great. Thank you all for hanging out. If you hung out at any time at all, whenever you came in, you're the best. This was The Spark on the Trident Network, a 3-pronged digital entertainment network. We do podcasts, we do YouTube stuff, we do Twitch stuff. Please follow us on all the platforms if you want to catch more stuff. This is just a taste of what you can find here on the Trident Network. I'm C2.
And I'm Jess Debacco.
And we love you.
We do love you.